So we need to access the bottom of the dishwasher. So we're going to take off the front panel and the bottom trim plate. There should be 4 screws holding this panel on. 2 at the top just under the door and 2 at the very bottom holding the trim plate on. Set your screws off to the side so they don't get lost or kicked. We will need them at the end. So now we have access under the dishwasher. Here is the solenoid, the bad one. This is why it wouldn't drain. Clearly see that the plunger is burnt and has melted plastic on it. And in this photo, you can see where the plastic's actually split by the magnet. Here is the part number and replacement solenoid. So when you order that part number, you just get the solenoid, you don't get the plunger. This is about $30. I reused the old plunger. I just cleaned off all the burnt plastic and it was good as new. All right, so now we're gonna get under here and get our parts back out. I put them under the dishwasher so when I went to go get a new part, they wouldn't get lost or kicked. So we're gonna take the screws back out. I put them in place so they wouldn't get lost. Then we're gonna put on the new solenoid and plunger. And once you get the new solenoid on, we'll do the little black pivot point next. Just make sure when you're tightening this down, you do it evenly, because it does need to slide over the pump shaft, and there's 2 plastic notches that will position the solenoid in the correct place. All right, we'll tighten them down. Then we're gonna get our little black pivot point that the plunger pulls down and pushes up to turn the shaft, telling the pump to kick on and off. I use some long needle nose pliers to hold the rod that comes out of the plunger while I insert it into the pivot point. And there it is. And now we're going to install our E-clip. Be gentle with this, it will bend. It only goes on one way. All right, now we're going to insert our spring, top first. And then we'll take our needle nose pliers and pull the bottom of the spring down and hook it to the frame of the solenoid. So basically exactly the way it came off. Then we're going to insert our power supply. And now we're going to run a test cycle. Now it's telling it to drain. And it's going to tell it that the draining's done. Pops back up. It's working well. All right. Now we're gonna put the front panel back on. You need to do the bottom trim plate first. Position it so you can see your holes. And then we're gonna take our front panel, get one of our top screws, get it in the front panel hole and position it properly and get the screw started. Do not tighten it down. Go ahead and do your second top bolt. And now we can do our 2 trim plate bolts. And then after these are in position, you can tighten them all down. We just want to make sure that there's enough play to be able to move that around in order to line up your screw holes before everything's tightened down. And that's all there is to it. Just take it apart the same way it was put back together, but in reverse order. And if your solenoid is your problem, you're all good.